Okay, that seemed to stall. G'day, everybody. It's Saturday, the end of Saturday here, so I hope you're having a good weekend. It's the 12th of April, and Popeye and John are still there, but then again, it's only, if it's 7 o'clock here, it must be 1 o'clock in the afternoon there, so they're probably, hopefully, getting all their last bits sorted this afternoon. They could have cleared customs on Friday, and hopefully they'll be underway. So we'll have to wait and see how that pans out, but they haven't moved yet. And I just had a quick peek of the tracker, so we'll get straight into it. This will probably be a quick one because there's not a lot happening. So you've now got the tracker, and I can get onto the tracker here when I find it. Japers. Not to worry. I have to find it on the top thing. Oh, that's why. It's got the. That's it. Okay, I've got it. It's got the. I have the little icons on the top of the screen, but because I've got so many pages open all over the place, you don't get the usual logo there. You just get a little black box. So anyway, I'm on the tracker now. So are you. I can run this back, shrink it down a bit. And there we go. There's the fleet. Gary's making progress. It looks like he's actually got a bit of a favourable breeze now. He's getting down into the breeze anyway. So he's done pretty well to do that so quick. And as he gets a bit further south, he'll probably just level out and probably pull in just behind Josh, I reckon. Anyway, that's all looking rather interesting. And then if we go back to see what Popeye's doing, they're definitely sitting there, and we've got a couple of boats from what I can see that aren't on the tracker. So that's a bit of a bummer. Here we go. So we'll start at the back of the fleet anyway and look at what's going on here. So we've got Gary doing 3.6 knots. He'd be very happy with that because it looks like it's in the right direction. Only did 43 miles in the day, but that's because he's sort of heading south, and the rum line up the top there, remember that red line up here is sort of going to the, the west-southwest. So he's not making a lot of forward progress that way, but he's sailing through the ocean and getting down, which is exactly where he wants to be. So that's not too bad. Josh has finally got some breeze. He was going slow this morning. I had a look early in the morning. But he's picked up a bit now, 4.2 knots, and he's managed 64 miles along the track, which is kind of cool. And Jasmine, I'm just mentioning Jasmine right now. She's doing 5.6 knots and 124 mile day. So she's actually done really well. She might have gained on a couple of the other boats here. No, maybe not. So, 124. I come straight through to Jacob. He's only done 118. But currently doing 5.8, so that's pretty good, against Jasmine's 5.6. So there's a bit of give and take going on here, and that's kind of the weather. Interesting, I got a short video from Eric a little while back, and he was saying it's 17 knots. And it's funny, I can look at these colours here and pick at what they should be, and this deeper stuff is about, sort of less than, it's probably 12 to 17. It's not up to 20 yet, and that was sort of verified by Eric. We've got that's Sid. Let me just check this because he's about to tell me that Kerry's tracker is not working. Yeah, YB tracker since UTC on the what? Gary's not updated on the YB tracker since 12 UTC on April the 25th. What's April the 25th got to do with anything? Oh, April 25. Oh, 01. Okay, got it. So thanks, Sid. Yes, we know that since 8 o'clock this morning. I've messaged him to check the power in. Can you ask YB if he's polling there? I don't usually do anything until they've missed two, and he's missed two now. And it's Sunday. I'm not too stressed. Before I do anything, it's Saturday. Before I do anything, I will just wait until we go through the next one, and then I know it's there. So I'm not too stressed. The conditions are very straightforward. It should be fine. But yeah, Kerry's got 5.8 knots. The last one there was 8 o'clock. So anyway, he'll check his stuff and he might pop up again. Anyway, back here so thanks, Sid, if you're watching this update. Okay, Jacob, 5.8, 118 mile day. We discussed that. Mark's just chuffing along. I put his video up just so people could see what the conditions are like, the weather's like, because Mark's right in there. So that was part of the reason I put Coconut's post up there. He's having a lot of fun playing around with his celestial navigation. He's not using his motor because the alternator's not charging. He's got some electrical problems, like all sailors at sea. You can follow his personal posts on his personal page, but there's always something going wrong with boats, but that's life. But he's having a great time. So lots of one thing that was interesting with his Starlink, he's put the question out there, say, hey, anyone got any ideas on what my electrical problem might be? And he explained it all. Should he cut the blue wire or the red wire or whatever? And some people were giving some very sound advice. It was quite interesting. So he was happy about that. Anyway, back to our fleet. Adam, 5.5 knots, doing 130 miles in the day. He'll be very happy with that. So he's got 130, and Jacob's got 118. So he's moving forward, and all driving at different bits. Christian, up here, hopefully his drugs are working, 5.6 knots and 121 mile day. So sailing along quite nicely. Dan Turk, 5.4, 131. That's pretty good. There were some big inconsistencies this morning on speeds. Dan was doing well, but Ayrton wasn't going as good as that. He's now doing 124 mile day, 5.1 compared to Dan, 5.4 right next to him. And down here we've got Eric, 5.7, 124. So they're about the same. There's no big things happening, but there was some quite significant differences this morning. And I can't remember what they were. Just on the mileage, 24-hour mileage, one had about nearly 16 miles difference, and I forget which one it was now. Anyway, Peeler's still up here with the lead group, 4.7, 119. Oh, I think it was Peeler. That's what it was, I remember. The others, because Kerry was right up just in front of Dan, which is probably where he would be, but Peeler was still holding back. I'm not sure. She could have been different breeze, all that sort of stuff, but only 119 mile day and 4.7 knots. Kerry this morning at 8 o'clock was flying. I remember that really easy. He was doing 5.8 and he'd done 149 mile day. And Renaud at the time hadn't managed that kind of day, 24-hour run. So he actually closed more miles on Renaud. Anyway, Holiday Dan at 5.5 knots and 135 mile day. Okay, and just to give you, we'll look at Renaud now. He's doing 5.7, 147 mile day. Kerry had 149 mile day this morning, and he was a little bit faster. I think he got put out about another 3 or 4 miles on him. So let's assume he's doing something similar, 5.8 knots, and we're now 1600. So that's 8 hours. So 8 hours at say 5.8. I've got to use my bloody. You can't see what I'm doing here, and I'm not going to tell you, but you probably figured it. 5.8 multiplied by 8 equals 46 miles, 46.4 to be specific. That was my arithmetic, which was before maths. So it's 46 miles. So I'll blow this up just so you can see. Hang on, I'll just put that there and there for now. And I'll pull this up. And we can see we're going to go forward about 46 miles. It'll be back here somewhere. Okay, 46 miles. So Kerry's going to be around about there somewhere on his hammer. He's pulled in right behind Renaud now. He can probably get his thing. So if he was there, then he would be about 88 miles behind. So still the same. So holding on to him. And 88, if we say an average of 5 miles, that's 16 hours, 5 knots rather, 16 hours behind, near enough, something like that. And he left 12 hours behind Renaud. So as silly as it sounds to make those sorts of comparisons, Renaud has pulled away from Kerry by about 4 hours or something. But that's not really true because you can never tell about the weather and all those sorts of issues. So anyway, that's how it looks. Let's look at the weather closely to see if it's holding for the next the next little bit. So I'm just going to push that forward through a couple of days. I'll come out of it one click just so we can see what's going on with the weather for Gary as well. Here we go on this right now. So here we are at midnight. The wind's picking up. You can see below them all, below the fleet, you've got a little bit of yellow coming through. Yeah, there it goes. So it's going to pick up. But once you see the yellow, you're into 2025, going up to about 28, and it's getting quite a bit solider. So that's good. They'll all start moving, except for Gary. So that's on the 13th at near enough to now, a bit over 24 hours. So Gary will still be moving nicely, but the rest of the fleet will be going fast. They'll start to really hightail it for that day, but then it disappears again, and we're back into. It's still puffing. It's going to be 15 to 20s by the look of it, which is good speed. But jeepers, they've been getting like 150. I think Kerry at one point, with around 150 mile days, they're not bad. That's pretty good. So the next few days are pretty cool. Let's see if it's partly involved with currents. Yep, there's some good solid currents. Hang on a second, that's too far forward. This is the currents now. That's interesting. These guys are right in no man's land for the current. The mid-fleet is getting a push. Josh is about to enter it, and Gary up there is about to get pushed to the west, which is what he wants anyway. So we'll just push. I've got to hit this to move it. Push the current a little bit and see what's going to happen. Not a lot. The guys are underneath it. It's the 13th, the 14th. It is helping them for sure. That's going to help the mid-fleet more so than the front of the fleet. So they might get another 10 miles or so a day. Josh down the back there, he'll be down further down the track. So yeah, they're all going to get a push with the current. So that's kind of good. That's by the 15th, and then it stops changing. No, it's still showing, but there's nothing changing on the graphic. So anyway, no head currents, and they're going to get a little bit of a push. So that's kind of cool. I think we're finished with the tracker here. I was using the tracker today to help a friend with a plan for a rowing expedition. I was using the graphics. Anyway, there's a few people into rowing. There was a post, if anyone wanted to, I didn't see it. Yes, I was talking about Rick, his daughter, doing that row from Peru to Brisbane. If you wanted to follow her, if you go down on the tracker and look at the comments after, he put their website or something, how to find them if you want to follow them. So anyway, g'day Adrian, Brian, Ferguson, Kerry playing mind games with Renault again. Yeah, you might have gone dark, turned it out. No, there's no tactical advantage. The time that happened in the first leg, it was so funny. And it was good to see Renaud went into panic mode because he had to make some decisions and he needed to know where Kerry was. And that's just when Kerry happened to go off the air, as if it was planned, and it wasn't. It was purely because of the equipment. So, and I'm sure that's happened again now. Every now and then we get these glitches, but it's not unsafe. It's just frustrating for us followers. Renaud again, he is 50 miles further west. Some of that surprise. I'm actually closing 4 miles. I am actually closing 4 miles a day. My guest Renaud by 3 hours on his thing. It started 12 hours behind. Yeah, that's all true. Anyway, Chris Salmon, question: how do you distinguish the 580 class versus the 650s? How do we distinguish them? I like Kerry's earlier comments on reducing the cost to access racing. Well, it's quite clear. How do you distinguish them? We're a bunch of plywood soapboxes, self-built in the backyard, that's now ripping their way around the world. And a 650 is usually a super fast, high-tech flyer with about 3 times the sail area and half the weight. And they don't sit in the water; they sit on the water, and they plane pretty all the time. If they're moving, they're planing. And some of the protos are on foils, and they're foiling all the way. I think the protos in the class 650 are able to have foils on their like a T-foil on the end of their rudder to lift them out of the water and control their height, so they can drive constantly. I just saw another review on a boat. So anyway, we're totally different in terms of identification. We look different. We're very much more boxy. We have a proper transom. Some people hate the idea of the transom, but there's a degree. When it came up, we wouldn't want an open transom because there's a degree of security, and you can use it for various things in this boat. If you're on board for a year going around the world, it's nice having the transom there. It's a sense of security. It's psychological, if nothing else, and it doesn't hamper the boat. If the cockpit gets filled up with water, the boat's usually heeling, so it never goes more than sort of a water line at 45 degrees across the corners of the seats, the cockpit seats out to the backrest. So it's quite safe. So anyway, they look different. They're smaller, they're slower, they're stronger, they're more reliable, sort of, touch wood, and they're built for ocean sailing under a wind vane. No autopilots. We let them use the smallest of the tiller pilots, but you can't sail around the world with the electrical tiller pilot because you wouldn't have enough electrical power for a start because we restrict the battery size and the solar charging size. So it's a completely different boat, and we really like the 650s. I've got quite a few friends that are sailing. Like Pila's another one. She sails 650. We live in Les Sables d'Olonne, which is the 650 Transat is starting from here in September this year. I won't be here. We'll be in Fiji this time. But it's a great event, great class of boat. It's really crazy, fantastically crazy. So that's how we distinguish the difference. And it's a different ethos as well, the whole thing. But we love the Class Mini 650. It's pretty cool. Holly Rowe, Dad doing well. Come on, little Wren. Yes. They're all doing particularly well. That's the benefit and the advantage and the fun of a one design. No one's getting away. By the time they get to Fiji, I think the leaders will be in a collective total because you've got to add up the sea time for leg one and put it on to the sea time for leg two to Fiji. There'll only be days in it, which is not bad because you're not quite halfway around the world, but keeps everyone interested. Anyway, all good. So now that we're in the trade winds, I don't know whether I'll come up and do. If I've got nothing to do, I will absolutely come up and do the tracker update because I know there's quite a few people like it. It's not groundbreaking at the moment. Why am I? Oh, I guess what? You've been staring at the tracker all the time. I forgot to press the buttons to come back to me. So I'm sitting here talking to you and you're not there. Anyway, sorry about that. I was just saying that they're in the trades now, so it's pretty much a drag race sort of thing. They're all heading along. They've all got breeze. They're just going to tick over. So we're not expecting any major weather changes, any major current changes. It's count the miles off and get to the Marquises as quick as they can. And that'll determine who's the leader, and then they'll have things to do when they get there and all that sort of stuff. So the boys in Panama, I mentioned them in the beginning. They haven't left yet. Crover, they haven't left yet. They're not moving on the tracker from 1600, but 1600 UTC is about it'll be 6 o'clock our time. It's about midday, so it's around about midday in Panama. So they could still be getting ready today and be just about ready to take off. So we'll just have to watch the tracker and see what happens. You probably already know, and everyone knows you've got your app, your YB Races app on your phone. You can keep up with that and get the basic tracker information. You can see when they're moving, you can see their speed, you can see the leaderboard, all that sort of stuff. You just don't get the full wind graphic like we do from Windy, and the tides and the temperatures and the bits and my commentary. So it's a bit different, but yeah, you can keep an eye on. We'll be interested in give a bit of a shout when the boys take off. So so we'll just see how we go. But if there's not a lot happening, I may not be up every day. We'll just see how it happens because I know I'm going to get busy next week and stuff. So, but I like being here if you're up for listening. Jane was laughing. People are always interested in. Yes, we monetize it, and yes, there's ads there. Hopefully, only when it gets replayed. And we're getting really rich quick. We make Jane. We're making about between €2 and €2.50 for every time we do one of these tracker updates. About €2. That's how much money we make off of YouTube, we were laughing. We'll get rich quick. Anyway, another question. That's a pretty phone case. Oh yeah, this is a whole story. Thanks, Adrian. It's the colour. Can you see the colour? It's not very bright there, but it's actually bright orange. And Jane had a very cool. She had a very cool cover for her phone, and I said, "Oh, I want it. I want one." And this is the only one she had, but it is the right colour. So this is the 580 colour. It's got a handle on the back, you know what I mean? And in China, it costs about €3. So she brought this back from the last trip, but it's a bit woofy because, I'm not woke or anything. Well, I am or I'm not. I don't want to get the wrong way or the right way. I've got some gay friends and bits and pieces, So that's just life. It's got a flower on it, back to the 60s and 70s. Anyway, I'm wasting everyone's time. So thanks for tuning in. We'll probably see you tomorrow, and enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, and we're thinking of everyone out there and having a lot of fun. I must admit, I'm a bit envious. They're really having a ball at the moment, so good on them. Oh, I just put something's gone wrong. I just put the bloody. Now it's good. Jeepers, I'm not even going to try. What's going on here? Let's see what happens.
Witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025.
Bye.